If you inherited millions of dollars, what would you do with it? Would you save up and live modestly, or blow it all in a few months? Hi everyone, Ken here. Welcome to this house. In 1878, Albert Disston inherited a massive estate, immediately making him one of the wealthiest men in Philadelphia. His father, Henry Disston, had emigrated to the United States from England and found honest work making saws in a factory. He learned the trade while on the job and saved up every penny he earned to open his own factory. In just 20 short years, he went from being an entry-level factory worker to owning the largest saw manufacturing company in the world. Keystone Sawworks saw continuous growth all the way through the Civil War, at which point his sons returned as veterans and joined their father in the family business. The company was renamed to Disston Sawworks, and, with their expanded operation, each of his sons became some of the wealthiest men in Pennsylvania for only a short window of time. In 1878, Henry passed away and the company was divided up amongst his heirs. His son Albert decided to cash in and live a life of conspicuous consumption. He purchased a large lot on North 16th Street in Philadelphia, where some of the city's most elite were choosing to build their mansions. Then he hired architect Edwin Forrest Durang to design for him a palatial, limestone-clad mansion. And for the interiors, he hired George Herzog, a prominent German designer who was granted carte blanche, being allowed to design each room however he saw fit. In 1882, the mansion was completed for a grand total of $150,000, the modern equivalent of nearly $4.5 million when adjusting for inflation alone. As we explore the mansion, we will see a mix of vintage and color photos to give us the best idea of what the mansion looked like in its prime. Approaching the home from the sidewalk, we will pass through the gate and make our way towards the porte cochere. Here we will find the family entrance with double doors flanked by Ionic limestone columns. Entering through the doors, we will arrive in the circular foyer, where every piece of millwork seamlessly curves with the rounded walls. This space serves as an inglenook, boasting a grand fireplace featuring intricate relief work on its mantels, framing hand-painted tiles in the fireplace surround. First we will see the dining room, with stained glass windows flanking an intricately carved upper mantel below a gilded coffered ceiling. The extravagance continues into the parlor, where freshly waxed parquet floors glisten below the crystal chandelier. The ceiling has been hand-stenciled and every mirror set within a gilded frame, but the true showstopper of this room is the fireplace, decorated not only in hand-painted tiles, but intentionally framing the symmetrical reflection of the room to become part of the upper mantel's design. Next, we will find a pair of etched glass doors below a rounded transom and make our way into the library. This warm, inviting space glows in golden hues reflected from the cove ceiling onto the old-growth floor-to-ceiling bookcases. With this color scheme in mind, we can take a look at the old black and white photograph to see how the room was arranged with a small writing desk and only a couple chairs, allowing for more intimate conversations. Next, we will make our way into the music room, where a grand piano rests in the bay window below an elaborate crystal chandelier. We can imagine guests mingling through the halls, drink in hand, as live music softly drifted through the air. Albert hosted many parties in the house, but perhaps he partied a bit too hard. At the age of 33 years old, he passed away after living in his mansion for only 1 year. His wife continued living in the house until 1920, when it became too much for her to manage. It was briefly used as a clubhouse before being sold to a man who went by the name of Father Divine, who transformed the mansion into the Unity Mission Church Home and Training School. Father Divine was an interesting character at the time. He claimed to be a god and gained a massive following as one of the first non-Catholic founders of a megachurch. He lived in the nearby Woodmont mansion, and while he was shrouded in secrecy and controversy, he is also credited with some truly generous acts of philanthropy and helping the poorest in his community gain stability. Father Divine passed away in the 60s, but to this day, the Disston mansion remains the property of the church he founded. Did you have a favorite room? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.